Coming to you live from the village in the sky, this is Soft Power Hour. Welcome, everyone, to the Church of Soft Power. My name is Siobhan, and I am a co founder of this lay led church for the spirits of creativity, connection, care, and change. This is our live stream service gathering every other Monday here on Soft Power TV for an hour of connection with our community, our breaths, our bodies, and spirits. And I'm joined tonight live by my co-founders, Midori and Dr. Kiki, who will now tap us into the soft power frequency.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's so wonderful to connect with folks here live as well as with the replay. My name is Dr. Kiki, and I am one of the co-founding mothers of the Church of Soft Power, as well as a vocal coach and creativity coach that offers opportunities to connect with the voice, to express ourselves, to regulate the nervous system, and to co-regulate in these spaces of communal care. And tonight, I would like to just offer a little extended vocal practice as our tapping into the soft power frequency as an opportunity to come back to ourselves. The energy that I've been moving through in the last week is the message has been to come home to myself, to come home to the wholeness of myself. And in this community, I show up as a vocal coach, as one of the directors of the Soft Power Choir, and a member of the community. And in my background, there has been a lot of training in choral conducting and music education. And so some of those years of being in academia and university has kind of pushed me away from doing some of those more traditional vocal practices, but really in a space where I'm realizing and embracing the medicine that is within this wisdom, even if it has been kind of shared with me in a more traditional academic way that feels maybe very white, very disconnected from my culture and who I am, that this is really a space, Soft Power is the space and a community that is here to innovate, to re-indigenize this wisdom, and to really just reframe all of this information that we get on a day-to-day basis to be able to integrate it if it resonates, and to be able to embrace what works with us and what does not. And so today, I'd like to open up our space with some vocal practices, focusing first with just some breath. So I'm going to play some music here for us to just start to connect with our breath. I'll do a little facilitation as we do so. But starting now, wherever you're at, feel free to move the body, connecting maybe with the ground below you. If you are in a chair, connecting with the ground with your feet or your bottom, and starting to breathe either in through the nose or in through the mouth, starting to feel that inspiration of breath, allowing the breath to expand the rib cage, allow the belly to relax. And start to come back home to yourself, feeling that breath enter in through the toes, in through the fingers, in through the pelvic floor. And starting to breathe deeper and deeper. Perhaps bringing movement into the body now, rolling shoulders. Perhaps doing some hip circles. And perhaps your exhales can become a little bit louder, adding some tone, releasing through any sounds like yawns, moans, groans, very primal sounds. Stretching the body so that air can access all parts of our body, all parts of our lungs. Perhaps rolling the neck from side to side a few times, very gently. And we're doing this not only to connect with our breath and to allow the body to become more oxygenated, but also bringing ourselves back into alignment, the spine, bringing energy back into the body. What I've learned from another co-founding mother on our team, our fairy goddess Flo, is how important the spine is to our nervous system health and regulation, because those nerves travel along the spine. And so bringing that movement and fluidity into the spine is how we can start to help ground the body and release any pressure that might be on literally the nervous system from our skeletal structure. So feel free, if you haven't already, to start releasing through some low tones. And as the voice doula in my own vocal practice, I've learned that the voice is one of the most accessible and efficient ways to stimulate the vagus nerve, which is central to the parasympathetic nervous system. And so as the voice begins to vibrate, it also stimulates that nerve, allowing the body to come into rest and digest. And can help bring the body back into a regulated state, or at least in a state where it can begin to ground and release some of that anxious energy or other emotions that might be felt in the body. Offering some other sounds that you can practice with, some lip buzzing. Just using those lip buzzes to explore the voice. You don't necessarily have to go too high or too low, but just allowing the lip buzz to create enough friction here in the mouth to engage the breath a little bit more. And the breath is one of the greatest ways for us to express a lot of these emotions that are in the body, right? And so we're just inviting more opportunities for the body to express with more engagement of the muscles in the lower abdominals, in the torso, and around the solar plexus that can really get some of those emotions like anger, grief, sadness, a lot of that stuff that can like live right in the womb space, the belly, the heart space, just inviting a lot of that to come through today. We'll give about maybe 30 more seconds for just our own exploration before we go into our vocal toning practice. Perhaps sighing through a few other sounds. Perhaps bringing the hands to the shoulders, giving yourself a hug, or massaging the jaw muscle here, the temples, and swiping away this energy that you might be feeling around the neck, shoulders, and heart space. All right. And for our vocal toning practice tonight, I'd like to focus on the heart center, which this practice of, or this message to come back home to ourselves, I think really requires a lot of openness and a lot of vulnerability, because to come home to yourself also means to be sharing more of yourself, to be sharing all parts of ourselves. And that really requires so much courage. And so when I think about the heart, I don't only think about just kind of opening it up for anyone and everyone, but really the courageousness it takes to even start the process of opening one's heart and to be seen for who we truly are. And so the voice is also a big part of that, because it's so central to our identity and how we're seen and received by other people. And so just taking a moment maybe to place a hand on your heart, to maybe listen to what your heart is saying in this moment. And this harmonizing frequency practice that we do here at Soft Power is 3 tones of a vowel from the chakra vocal toning system. And that vowel for today will be the ah vowel. And so 3 times we'll vocal tone that together, the first in unison, and on the second and third tones, inviting folks to explore with their voice, with other harmonizing sounds or other sounds or vibrations, expressions with the voice that can help release or express anything else that might be on your heart tonight. So, wherever you're at, just taking a moment to reground, setting my feet on the ground, and we can take a breath in together. Here we go. We'll do that 2 more times. Be gentle with yourself if there are emotions or other energies that are coming up in the body as you use your voice at this time. And on this third tone, I'm just focusing my intention on this practice with so much gratitude for this opportunity to practice with all of y'all, and to practice with us tonight. This using our voices, being authentic, being seen, and sharing in this courageous act of using our voice. You're now tapped into the soft power frequency.
Thank you, Kiki. Much needed. We started late tonight because I came running from the first day of school, first day of first grade. So that just really helped me arrive after running around a lot this last weekend and today to just get my little one settled. And so today, so grateful to be here with you all, and grateful really on the back end for this commitment to touch base here in this space. So I'm pulling tonight, I'm shuffling from Ashley Stinson's Energy Archaeology deck and going to pull our oracle for tonight. Yes. Pulse. And this is connected to the wrist. The flick of the wrist. Pulse. Intuitively, I'm seeing all of these. This is a really cool illustration here. You can see all of the little bones of the wrists kind of swirling and orbiting. And immediately what I'm thinking of is this little fun fact that I shared with Midori earlier as I was watching this weekend. I kind of had in the background some, like, I think it was called like How the Universe Works or something like that documentary that included astrophysics in this episode. And it was talking about the concept of dark matter in the universe and like an astronomy, I don't know, astrophysics sense. And what the scientists were saying was that the function of this dark material and this dark energy is to disrupt what is already there, what is in the light, and move it into expansion, push it toward expansion. And it's this idea of this dark energy, like just kind of like, I see this here, like pulsing things into motion. It's like this breath into motion that really pushes things to transform and evolve, and it's an essential piece to balance what's in the universe and to keep things um, in not constant growth. Like when I say constant growth, I think of like the capitalist way of like we got to always expand and always optimize and grow. But really, I think about the concepts of yin and yang from the Taoist cosmologies and frameworks, that there's a darkness that we have lost um, in our collective experience. And I remember reading way back when too about how the invention of electricity sparked this and how it turned us into an unnatural kind of imbalance, I should say, of dark and light, and how, with the Christian narratives, that dark is something to be feared. What we can't see is something to be feared. I just think about like how crucial this darkness is to bring us into a closer alignment and functionality, honestly, and like pushing us toward our purpose and our evolution. So let's see what Ashley has to say. It could be totally off, but that's what pulse in that image really placed in my mind. And so the quote here from Ashley Stinson begins with, "Trust the pulse of your life. It syncs with a rhythm that is deeply resonant throughout your body and the energies you connect to." In Ashley's framework, this is connected to all of the four elements of earth, water, air, and fire. When in balance, it is spacious and dynamic, and when out of balance, it can be compressed and stiff. Our unique timing is a synthesis of where our energetic pulse meets the energy and the pulse of the universe. Frequency is flowing to you and from you at all times through the pathways of the hands and arms. You're giving and receiving, ideally in equal, sustainable measure. Likewise, the universe is giving to and receiving from you. When you do not trust the pulse of your life to communicate with the world around you, it will disconnect from the pulse of the universe, finding cues in the three-dimensional world, synthetic replacements for something truer and deeper. Trust the pulse of your life. When you do, it will sync with a rhythm that is deeply resonant throughout your whole body. You will feel in harmony with opportunities brought to you and what you need for your next step, which will always be waiting for you. Questions here. What is my relationship with time? Does this change with seasons and different creations? How would it feel to release control over what I know as time and timing and to trust in a divine universal timing instead? How can I feel, or can I feel how timing is part universe, part me? This is part of co creation. Can I trust the timing the same way I trust guidance? How does a pulse of my life feel best? Do I feel more comfortable and at ease moving quickly or slowly? So there's some questions to ponder on, and I already feel echoes of conversations Midori and I were having earlier around time and just the malleability of time. I think, um, yeah, just this acceptance of where we're at on our own. And I've been thinking, yeah, about this concept of divine timing and also how that still can rely sometimes on this linear binary idea that something comes past you in the right time and the right moment, and you just got to take it and see it. And it puts that pressure that if you miss that moment or if you're not ready, then things just move on without you. And I think both are true, that opportunities present themselves and we can hop on the wave, or we can, if we're not ready or we take make any other choice, something else will come back around. And that's what I found to be true for myself, at least, is that time and lessons can often work like spirals. And this spiral, where actually right now in this moment lately, I've been feeling in a lot of ways that if I looked from a certain perspective, it looks like I haven't moved anywhere. It looks like I might be in the same place as I was years ago. Um, but just that like shift in perspective and like allowing of my own timing really shows me that there are opportunities I've missed, um, but they've always come back with in some other form. Um, I've changed throughout making that choice, changed me and changed other opportunities open to me. And so I am in co-creation with this time. My consent and my agency matters when it comes to all of this. And divine timing is not like a determined and fated process for me. It really is this like participation, that I get to choose to dive in or to just kind of sit back and watch, but it moves regardless. And there is like an infinite amount of opportunities. So that was a little all over the place, but that is where I land with that oracle tonight. And I don't know if anybody else feels like hopping in on it, but otherwise, I'm going to pass it to Midori to bring us back more into the body. She is our chi priestess tonight.
Thank you, Siobhan, and thank you earlier for muting me because I was like making sounds, and it's so cute. I love the way that we move and are able to just like riff, and I think that's the magic of you made a lot of sense to me, babe. So just affirming that everything that comes through, there's always a weaving, and I'm really feeling those spirals and cycles. I like what Sam said. It's like rings of a tree is also a way that they think about it, and I love that metaphor. Okay, so Flo's usually the chi priestess in terms of movement, but Kiki already got us into a little bit of a self-massage practice, but I'm going to continue that. I did take a few classes in acupressure and Swedish massage, so this practice is going to come from there. And I'm just inviting us to tune back into our bodies. I know we kind of just dropped into that like philosophy mind mode, but kind of turning our attention inwards again and doing a little body scan. Just paying attention to the sensations in your body and what you're feeling. Maybe you want to put a hand on your heart and on your belly and just tune in, directing your intention inwards, perhaps closing your eyes and taking some deep belly breaths. Letting the belly expand on your inhale and feeling the belly fall on your exhale. And just noticing what's coming up for you now. We're going to start our practice with, in Qigong, it's called bringing the heavens down to earth. So we're going to bring our hands up, raising the chi and bringing it down the front line of the body. Repeating that 2 more times for a total of 3. Bringing the hands up, washing chi down the front of the body. And 1 more time. up and down the front side of the body. Resting your hands on your thighs. And we're going to start now with our neck rotations. So taking your time and allowing the neck to cycle up. Feeling all the clicks and ticks. Getting the spinal fluid moving in that area where we have a lot of nerves. Just feeling that movement and breathing through the back side of the neck. Go one more time and we'll switch directions. Rotating the neck the other direction. Making sure to breathe and maybe stopping anywhere that feels like it needs some attention. Just holding and breathing there. Breathing spaciousness and imagining any energy stuck in that location to be cleared and cleansed. Now we're going to rub our hands together and charge our hands up with our life force, our chi, and begin our self-massage. So the key to self-massage is to really just pay attention to what quality of touch feels good for your body. I love self-massage because, there's not someone touching you. It's your own touch. So you get to decide what varying levels of tension, pressure that you want. So we'll start. I'm going to take my scarf off. Kiki had us massaging the jaw, so I always really do love to start there as well. We'll just massage our jaw. So many bones here and muscles. Also lymph that flows there. So you can actually almost kind of just move that lymph down the face. I like to also do my forehead, moving the lymph down. Light strokes. And then starting at the top of the head, we'll start to massage the scalp. So you can really rake your scalp, feeling and going down the midline of the head. Just kind of like breaking up all that energy. If you think about all day long, we're thinking. If there's any sort of thought loops of it going out, just imagine that just kind of getting broken up. And then working down into the nape of the neck. And the lateral sides of the neck here. Pulling. The flesh here feels really good. And then I like to start massaging. There's these hollows that are at the base of the skull. And in acupressure and TCM, this is the gates of consciousness. So, and that spans all along the base of the skull where those hollows are. So you can just really lightly massage those points. Relieving that tension. And then we're going to move down into the shoulders, into your traps. So maybe squeezing the traps here. Giving yourself a squeeze down the arms and into the hands, as Siobhan was talking about. On that card, there was all those bones. There's so many bones in the hands that are always articulating that we may not pay attention to. So just rubbing the hands, saying thank you. Rotating the wrists. Moving down the chest here. Remembering your breath. Down into the rib cage. And the belly. Down to the front of the thighs. The kneecaps. And moving to one leg into the calves, you can kind of cross your leg on top and massage the meat of your calf here. Just remembering to tune in what feels good, to pressure that feels good for you. And then into the ankles. And finally, the feet. The feet, we're going to stay here with the feet for a little bit and just exploring. So in Chinese medicine, the feet are completely mapped on the body. So wherever you're feeling like needs a little bit of love and maybe a little bit of pressure, you may want to just hold the point. Just work with your intuition here and know that the feet are interconnected with the entire rest of the body. Maybe feeling into the toes, little piggies. Maybe you want to do a little rotation on the ankle, get that mobility going. Just be gentle. I think initially when I first started being aware of my body, I was like, honestly, a little harsh. So just learning to be gentle with your touch. We'll move to the other calf, crossing that over onto our knee so we can work down the other leg, that calf, the meat of our calf. Our ankles, and once again to our feet, tuning in to the foot. You know, there is a reason why Jesus washed people's feet. So it's the part of the body that's like the least paid attention to, I think, when it comes to awareness sometimes, especially since we have our feet stuffed in our shoes. But it's just times like these where we can give these parts of our body love. Our feet literally ground us and bring us through the world. So just really giving your feet some love here. Doing that little ankle rotation, getting that energy flowing down the body and awareness to the feet. Okay. Now we're going to do a little yin massage. That was a yang massage. So now we're going to do a little yin massage. So you just start swiping down the body. You can start from the top of the head. I know you just touch your feet, so maybe you don't want to do your face. You could do your head. My feet are clean, so I'm okay. But yeah, just swipe down your body. Just imagining that energy swiping off your body, anything that wants to be transmuted. And then flicking your hands, flicking your fingers, flick the energy off. I always see Siobhan doing that. She'll be like doing Reiki and then shaking off the energy. So there we go. Taking a breath here together to integrate. And we're going to end with our heart openers, which I love. And I take from Flow Fairy Goddesses practice. So we're going to start with our arms at 90 degrees and really just bringing the chest and the back, rounding it up over, and then opening up 90 degrees, looking up, breathing in, opening the heart and the chest, and then closing back in. Feeling the backside of the body stretch, maybe welcoming a little movement here. And then opening back up. Breathing in, looking up, opening our heart space. 2 more times, bringing the arms back in. And opening up. Looking up. And one last time, bringing the arms back. And looking up to the sky. Keeping our hearts open with our boundaries in place. And back to center. All right. And we'll just conclude with another breath, final breath together, breathing in. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for bearing with me. This is my first, I think, official Chi self-massage. And that concludes. And back to you, Siobhan.
Thank you for that. I loved it. I think just for the next couple minutes, I want to just hold space for some silence, for just being with our breath, being with ourselves. Um, and I'll offer some words of prayer and some ocean waves. And if you are still feeling that massage and feel like keep going, you can continue, or you can let your arms just drop to the side and bring your eyes to a rest for a few moments. You could also let your hands fall intuitively, however they may need a little extra love, a little extra peace. And I want to take 3 breaths. Imagining that we are in connection, be it through our worlds or a visualization, roots, words, to the core, connecting to this pulsing of Mother Earth, this pumping of life force that happens, whether we have to think about it or not. And just for the next few minutes, connecting with the power of our breath, knowing that you can direct it, the energy that comes with it, wherever you decide to put your focus. Perhaps imagining inhaling up fresh into your body like a straw pulling from the depths of planet. And on the exhale, sending anything within you or attached to you away from your body, back down to be composted and received by the earth. Imagining with your next exhale all that your breath dissolves within you that's been holding tension, things that you loosen up between your voice and your hands tonight. Just imagining on those exhales all of that debris, all of those particles that were loosened and given space to just be freed, whether they are leaving your field completely or perhaps your exhale is just expanding your field to give more space for movement to all that you contain. And now I just want to offer 1 minute of silence. Just a moment.
Just one.
Just taking this moment of silence, and I'll share after what my son shared with me. Thank you for being here. And I find myself doing a little humming as well to just amplify that intention. As we bring this practice to a close for your final few breaths together here, just really allowing yourself to zoom out and perceive how connected you are. Connected to us here as we are in this space together, on this frequency together, connected to all of the elements and to the world around you, to the land that you're on. Connection to all of human life and humanity, acknowledging the grief and suffering that I'm sure you often feel connected to, and allowing yourself to also become more aware with every breath of the power and the courage and the creativity that also means you're connected with. When it feels good to you, call all of your energy back to yourself, releasing all other energies and attachments back to their sources, letting this beautiful, refreshed aura be sealed and protected to carry through your week, to hold your light. Thank you for saying yes to being in community for this hour tonight. And thank you for continuing to be in devotion to your soft power and sharing it with the world in all the ways that you choose. I'll now be passing it to Dr. Kiki for our song offering.
Thank you, Siobhan. So needed for just a moment of silence and a reconnection with myself. As I started off tonight's call talking about embracing all of ourselves, the song that I've chosen to share with us tonight is a chant by Hildegard von Bingen, who was known as a sibyl, a prophetess, a priestess, started her own monastery, and was in charge of a whole group of nuns that she would write operas for, or some sort of like theater and drama, which was not at that time acceptable for women in the church to be using their voices, to be writing down their visions, to be sharing their visions, to believe in their visions. At that time, I think it was already being pathologized that women weren't capable, or that what their visions were was inaccurate. And so I really have felt this energy and spirit of Hildegard von Bingen since learning about her in college. Just being such a strong presence. And what I really love about her story is that not only was she this leader for her time and for other women who were embracing their spirituality and embracing their intuition and their creativity. She was also a botanist. She created her own universal language that she thought was going to unite the entire globe at that time. And her dates are she was assumed to be born in 1098 and died in 1179. So we're talking 12th century nun here. So this is a long, long time ago, but just her wealth of knowledge and willingness to embrace herself for her intuition, her gifts, her for the things that probably caused other people to be harmed if had they embraced the same things, I think is so courageous. And so one of this chant that I'm going to share with us tonight is called O Strength of Wisdom. So I'll share the translation first. It says, O strength of wisdom, who circling circled, enclosing all in one life-giving path, 3 wings you have. One soars to the heights, one distills its essence upon the earth, and the third is everywhere. Praise to you as is fitting, O wisdom. So feel free to call in any energy, spirit guides, ancestors, or and bring in any other intentions that you might have for this call of just connecting with our own inner wisdom. Let me get set here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kiki, for that moment of education and also of wisdom. And my body's wisdom feels very loud. The voice of my body's wisdom feels loud tonight after those practices. So I'm already like writing notes on the messages I'm getting. To close us out, we have our alter ego, community update. Alter ego just being that Midori's changing into another alter ego as her community updater. So I will send it to Miss Mimi McGuire for the update.
I'm like, where's my microphone? Oh, here it is. Good thing we have it on deck. Okay.
We need a sound for like the transformation montage, like
Ooh, like the one from the Bewitched, like that'd be cute.
that too. I was gonna say Sailor Moon's is pretty long.
Oh yeah. It'd just be me sitting here. It would just be me unraveling my scarf for like 5 minutes. All right, everybody. So, community update is that this Wednesday, every Wednesday, we gather in the Zoom sanctuary for co-working, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Me and Flo usually hold that down. So come through, co-work with us. There's no work blocks or facilitation. You just show up and you vibe with the frequency. I love those periods because people just drop in. You don't have to come exactly at 11 a.m. if you Siobhan pulled up at like 12:25 last Wednesday. It was so cute. Sometimes we stay a little longer, so that's always fun. I always get a lot done. Sometimes it's just me needing to wash my dishes and I need a body double for that. So just encouraging you to show up with whatever you need done in space with other people. This Friday, we have at 9 a.m. Pacific till 10 a.m. Pacific, we have a new moon in Virgo riding circle with our collaborator and dear friend Nathaniel of Them Powered. It's usually a space and time for them to provide some astro insight to the moon cycle, as well as writing time, and sharing at the end, which is always very, very powerful. The people who end up showing up there it's very heart-led and vulnerable. So if you're feeling that, I would encourage you to show up and just practice writing in that very tender container. And then the following Monday, I will be facilitating Soul Spark Activation, which is a divination salon for you to practice reading intuitively and expressive arts. There's also space for sharing there as well. That's at 5:30 p.m. Pacific next Monday, so a week from now, in the Zoom sanctuary. And you can sign up for all of these events on our website at withsoftpower.org/calendar. That will also be in the description box and in the main info part of our YouTube channel. So hope to see y'all there. Thank you very much. Oh, now I'm transitioning back into my priestess. And now I'm going to lead the closing prayer. Alrighty. So getting situated in your seat. Just a quick prayer to close us out. I know Siobhan called our energy back, but just calling your energy back to you. What's yours is yours. And saying a prayer for all those being impacted by normative systems of hard power right now. Praying over everyone's well-being, the people who are all people who are out here really trying to break out and disrupt the system in all the different ways that we show up, whether it is in our art, protests, writing, dance, all forms of expression, your voice, speaking up, sharing your life, sharing your authenticity, saying and uplifting prayers of protection, and to all of our spirit guardians to put a cloak and veil of protection over us. May we continue to stay strategic in how we move. May we continue to reach out to one another in these times where we need to stay together and be sharing our resources with one another. And rooting into our lanes, our specific gifts that we're here to bring and stay and remember our gifts in this lifetime so that we can fully show up and weave this tapestry of remembering what is possible, the world we're here to build together. May you always remember your soft power and remember that the soft power frequency, your unique creativity, is always here to ground you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Midori, Dr. Kiki, and everyone who joined in the energy bank, including Flo. I'm going to drop here the link in the chat as well as on the screen. This is to support resourcing the vision, support our continued programming. All donations are tax exempt. And that concludes Soft Power Hour tonight. My child snuck in to let me know that Labubus are actually demons. So I've got to go address and have philosophical discussions with my first grader on what that means, as well as change our YouTube settings. So, love to you all. Love and soft power. Good night.